Right, now we're going to look at subtracting fractions with different denominators. Now it's very similar to adding fractions with different denominators. It's the same process, but the final thing you do is obviously subtract instead of add. So, subtracting fractions, different denominators. Now our denominator, if this is our fraction, the denominator is the bottom part. The one that dominates, is sort of what makes it what it is. So, we have the success criteria here. Number one, find the common multiple. And I'll go through what that means. So basically what's in the times tables for both those bottom numbers of the denominator. Then convert the fractions. So whatever you do to the top, or sorry, the bottom, do to the top. And then finally you just subtract the top and keep the bottom the same. So it's fairly straightforward. So we'll have a look at a couple of examples and I'll show you what I mean by that. So I've got 4/5 take away 1/10. So the first thing I need to do is I need to find the common denominator between 5 and 10. So what is in the 5 times tables, it's also in the 10 times tables. And that's quite an easy one, because 1 times 10 is 10, 2 times 5 is 10, so 10 is a common multiple. So we turn them both into tenths, and we write it below, and then this is like the second stage. So now we need to convert everything so it's into tenths. Equivalent fractions out of 10. So with 5, what have I done to 5 to turn it into a 10? I've times it by 2. Let's multiply or divide, it's never just add 5. So whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top, so I have to times the top by 2 as well. So it'll be 4 times 2, which gives me 8. So now 4/5 is equivalent to the same as 8/10. So this here side, it's already tenths, so we actually don't need to do anything, because if I times that by 1, just times the top by 1, so it's the same thing. And then obviously it's a subtract. And then finally what we need to do is exactly the same as what we've done with subtracting fractions with same denominators, is just take away the top two numbers. So 8, take away 1 is 7, and then keep the bottom number the same. So my answer to 4/5 take away 1/10 would be 7/10. Try another one. So this time, 3/4 take away 1/3. So our common denominator, what's is in the 4 times tables, it's also in the 3 times tables, the smallest one. So in this, I'm thinking go concentrate on my bigger number. So 4 doesn't work for 3. 8 doesn't work for 3, it's not in the 3 times tables. 12 is in the 4 times tables and it's in the 3 times tables. So 12 is our common denominator. So we're going to write 12 below both. Now we need to convert these fractions into twelfths. So what have I done to get from 4 to 12? I've times by 3. So that means I have to times the top by the same. So 3. So 3 times 3 gives me 9. So 3/4 is the same as 9/12. It's the equivalent. Now what do we do to 3 to get to 12? We times it by 4. So we have to times the top by 4, which gives us 4. And now we've got an easy subtraction, which has the same denominators. So all we do is subtract the top two numbers, which is 5, and then keep the bottom number the same. So 3/4 take away 1/3 equals 5/12. Let's do one more. This is one for you to have a go at. So if you want to pause, and I'll go through the answer in 3 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. So, common denominator between 5 and 4. So we'll concentrate on 5. So 5 times 5 doesn't work for 4. 10 doesn't work for 4. 15, still not working for 4. 20, now we've got our common denominator. We've got 20 works for 5, 20 works for 4. So we're going to change them both into 20ths. So, what have I done to get from 5 to 20? I have times by 4, so I times the top by 4, which gives me 16. What have I done to get to 4 to 20? Times by 5, so times the top by 5, which gives me 5. And then I've got the same denominators, so it's easy. So 16 take away 5, gives me 11. And then the bottom number obviously stays the same, so it's 11/20. Alright?